In 2025, the fitness world is flooded with advice, but not all of it is good. In fact, some of it is downright dangerous. Today, I'm calling the 7 worst pieces of advice that I see influencers pushing their followers. Now, if you've fallen for any of these, you're definitely not alone, but in today's video, I'm going to show you the real truth. Let's jump right into it. Number 1, the low carb diets are actually making you gain fat. Now, it's pretty crazy to me that in 2025, I still see fitness influencers posting and pushing out keto and low carb diets as the best thing for fat loss. Now, if you remember like 7 to 10 years ago, like keto was the best thing that came out since maybe Titanic released in 1997. That's a great movie, by the way. Don't hate on it. But then you had guys like Layne Norton, right? Like guys who are very popular in the fitness industry and nutrition field who, I don't want to say ripped on keto, but basically explained why it's not the best thing for fat loss and really got the science of it. Now it's 2025. And I still see people and fitness influencers really push out the keto and low carb diet. Now you might be asking, like, why are they doing that even though the research is out there? Just think about it, guys. Like, in order to monetize, you gotta polarize. So what they're trying to do essentially is taking a stance saying keto is the best thing you need to do and you have to do it because the more polarized you are, the more ideally you're gonna monetize with your audience. So this is why they're very aggressive pushing out that narrative. Now, here's why keto and low carb diets are actually gonna make you gain fat. Just think about it. If you can't sustain a diet, then you're going to lose fat temporarily, but then you're going to start getting back to your old habits, right? Like if, for myself, if I just stop eating pizza for, let's say, 2 months, I'm probably going to get a little bit tighter in the waist and feel a little better. Tighter mean more abs, not more fat. But then when I start introducing pizza again, because I'm Italian, I'm not going to give that up. What's going to happen is I'm going to gain more fat and I'm going to lose essentially all my progress. What happens as well with low carb diets is your strength actually goes down a little bit and you're just going to feel a little more tired in general. So the very boring but real truth I have for you for point number 1 is keto can work if you can sustain it, but it's definitely not the best thing for fat loss because the best thing is something that you can sustain. And as long as your calories and protein are equated for, there's no such thing as the next best diet. So I'm asking for in 2025 and 2026 going forward that fitness influencers hopefully don't push out that keto is the best thing to lose fat. Number 2, the magic pill fat burners that don't actually work. Now here's the thing, guys. If a fitness influencer is pushing out fat burners as like the best thing for fat loss, either one or two things is happening, or maybe both. Number 1, they're the most uneducated trainers and coaches out there. And number 2, they have some sort of deal or maybe like a sponsorship from these supplements and they're trying to push their product to make more money. And that's usually what happens 99% of the time is the latter there. Because here's the thing about fat burners, if you're not exactly sure like how they work, I'll go into it a little bit without boring you. They essentially act as like a stimulant. So think like caffeine. It's going to make you move more potentially. And the idea as well, it kind of acts a little bit as an appetite suppressor. So kind of think like Ozempic essentially, right? But maybe not to that extent, but that's the idea behind fat burner supplements. But here's the thing. If you're trying to wake up a little bit, you can save a lot more money just having a coffee. It's caffeine, it's a stimulant, it's going to probably get you moving a little bit more. Just like me right now, like I'm talking a lot with my hands, I'm caffeinated, like I'm ready to go. And if you're trying to lose weight by limiting how many calories you're taking in, then even stuff like water, black coffee, tea, all those sort of things are going to help you without spending a lot of money on those fat burners. So your boring but real truth here is fat burners can maybe help like 1 to 2%. I'm not saying it's a completely useless, but if you've seen fitness influencers saying like this is the best thing and they're really pushing out these products, then you need to run because you're a lot better off just taking caffeine and learning to control your appetite by yourself, opposed to using like fat burners or a more of an extreme case like Ozempic. Number 3, the 2-week free transformation challenge that's setting you up for failure. Now, I'm sure you've seen this all over Instagram or Facebook, especially if you follow those fitness influencers, right? Like free 2-week challenge, drop like 14 pounds in 14 days or triple your arm size in 14 days, like something absolutely ridiculous. Now, I have absolutely nothing against like small challenges as they can be beneficial depending on how you do them. The issue is a lot of fitness influencers are just setting you up for failure and they're trying to get you in their coaching program. right? Because here's what they're essentially doing. They're trying to get you like amazing results within 2 weeks. That way you're like, oh shit, this guy's amazing. Like I dropped 10 pounds in 14 days. Now let me sign up for his long-term coaching program. Like that's essentially what a lot of the fitness influencers are doing. Maybe they're telling you to kind of starve yourself, like not eat a lot, move a lot, so you see the results, and then eventually you come into their coaching program. Now, the issue with that is it's just not sustainable. And the truth that I have about these challenges is they are okay if they're a short-term challenge that's either going to teach you something or maybe like a bit of a mental challenge where maybe you're doing like 100 push-ups a day to really kind of get you outside your comfort zone and challenge you in that aspect. Like even for ourselves, like we typically run like a nutrition week challenge for 7 days, but the really issue, I should say, the goal of our challenge is not to make you lose like 7 pounds 7 days. It's to teach you a different habit every single day. That way you essentially can grab onto that habit and then you can just basically transfer it into your everyday life. So that's what I have number 3, the 2-week transformation challenge that's setting you up for failure because a lot of influencers want to get you in their long-term coaching program. Number 4, why no pain, no gain will only lead to further injury. Now, to this day, when I'm coaching clients in person, let's say something doesn't feel right for them, I'll still kind of hear them say like, it's okay, I'm fine, like no pain, no gain. And a lot of times they're getting that and reciting that quote because they see a lot of stuff posted online that really says like no pain, no gain, and really teaches to kind of push through discomfort. But I promise you this, as like 15 years as a coach and someone who has shoulder injuries from baseball, which I'll share my example in 1 minute, if you have pain, it's going to lead to no gain. It's only going to make things a lot worse. Because when I was like 17 and I had my, partial rotator cuff tear and my shoulder impingement playing baseball, I kind of had that mindset. I'm like, I'm fine. But then I really try to push through the injury. I'd still do my shoulder overhead presses, my lateral raises, my heavy bench press. And what happened was it got worse over the course of the year. And to this day, like I'm 35 right now, I'm still dealing with this negative injury and it flares up from time to time. So the truth I have for you is you got to decipher like what pain is. Like if it's like a bad joint pain, then you got to stop and you got to get it fixed. If it's like a burning type of pain in the muscle, well, that's a good thing and that's fine. And that's what we're going to push through. But what I'm trying to say here is if you have an injury, don't push through it, at least in terms of discomfort. Modify the movement, get it fixed. And if you do that, that's how you make progress over the course of months and years. But if you push through that injury, you might get short-term progress for a few weeks, but over the course of months and years, it's only going to make things worse. Number 5, stop doing the abs every day. It's not going to lead to a six-pack. Now, there's videos that have hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube that says, like, if you want to lose your love handles, like, do these exercises, which still amazes me, like, in 2025. Like, if that's like 2005, I'd say, okay, maybe. But we all know you can't spawn reduce belly fat by now. And if you didn't know, at least now you know right now. I actually did like 2 experiments that I did abs every single day for 30 days. And I wanted to compare my results, and I'll share it to you right now. And as you can really see, there's really not that much of a difference, right? Now, maybe be a little bit different, like if, let's say I couldn't see my abs to begin with, but I really don't think it still would move the needle because, as you know, nutrition takes care of the abs. And if you're eating properly, then no matter how many crunches or how many planks you do, your abs aren't going to be visible. So the truth I have for you, this is a quick one. You can do abs to improve certain aspects in your training for sure. And I'm not saying it's useless. Like if you want to improve your core strength or you want to get stronger in rotation or even like, a carryover for other exercises, then it's obviously still important to do. But if you're doing abs to try to get like a 6-pack, well, it's not going to make a difference because if you're eating like shit, no matter how many abs you do or ab workouts you do, they aren't going to pop out. So focus on your nutrition first before you start adding in those ab exercises. Number 6, the scale is everything mindset. Now, a lot of fitness influencers just really push out the number on the scale, but I'm going to tell you why just focusing on losing weight could be the worst thing that you can actually do. Now, let me explain. Let's say you lose 30 pounds, but then we really look into it and we discover that most of the weight you lost, or at least let's say maybe 67% of it, actually came from muscle. Would you say that's still a good thing? Probably not, right? Like even though it's some pros, you lost some fat, probably overall it's not a great thing. Now, the scale is a tool absolutely that you need to do to factor into your fat loss journey, but it's just one portion of the equation. And I've used this analogy before, and I'll say it again. Think of like football and a general manager. If you're trying to build like a good team, like you're looking at every aspect of the team, right? Like offense, defense, special teams, and coaching. But if you just focus on one aspect of the team, but you neglect the other parts, you're probably not going to set yourself up for, short-term or long-term success, right? Well, it's the same thing as the scale. Like if we just focus on this scale, but we don't look at the before and after photos, maybe how the clothes are fitting, maybe kind of seeing like if your strength went down, maybe kind of seeing like if you just like maybe look flabby with like a skinny fat look. Like if we don't factor any of those things in, then it's mission failed. And I don't care how much weight you lose. So the truth I have for you here is any single person can lose weight. It's not that difficult, guys. Like it's move more and it's eat less. Now, how you lose the weight will determine if you keep the fat off for life. Because your goal in a fat loss phase should be to retain as much muscle as possible and lose as much fat as possible. But the number on the scale won't always tell that story. That's why even Greg right here, like, yeah, he lost like 50 pounds, which is a big number, but look at his body composition. He kept most of his muscle, if not all of it. His strength is skyrocketing, and he just feels a lot better in terms of his clothes and how he actually feels. So just know, guys, the number on the scale is a tool, but make sure you're not basing your whole, success on the number on the scale, because there's so many other things that you have to factor in. Number 7, why you don't need to eat and train like a bodybuilder in order to get shredded. Now, a lot of fitness influencers that you see online who are like shredded and really D's, they're either bodybuilders or maybe they currently are bodybuilders and think like that is their whole life is fitness. So like they really kind of teach like, okay, meal prep everything, count every single macro, work out 5 to 6 times per week for maybe 90-minute workouts. And they really kind of preach that. And for some clients, like, don't get me wrong, if you have the time and you're absolutely dedicated, then you're going to have success doing that program. But for a lot of guys over 30, 35 years old, it's just not sustainable for them, right? Like if you don't have time to work out 5, 6 times per week, you don't have time to pull up MyFitnessPal for every single rice grain that you're trying to track. And you might do good for a couple of weeks, but there's no way you're going to succeed long-term. And that's where I really think a lot of fitness influencers miss the boat. We try to jam a one-size-fits-all kind of program into all the people that we want to train just because it worked for them. Like what we essentially do in our program, because like most of our guys are like, over 30, well, they're all over 30, and they're busy guys with like a family and, have a partner or whatnot. Like we just kind of focus on 4 strength workouts per week, 45 minutes per day. Like that's all you need. And then we just kind of tailor our Eat Like a King or Weekend Warrior system that matches your lifestyle. Because for a lot of guys, right, like counting macros, it's just absolutely overwhelming for them. And if you're with your family or out for dinner, like the last thing you want to do is pull out your MyFitnessPal every single time. So there's better ways of doing that, opposed to, maybe listening to a fitness influencer that says like you have to track every single calories. I got a little piece coming down here. Sorry about that. So your big truth and the brutal truth I have for you is, yes, it can work if you are the right person in terms of following what maybe these bodybuilders and fitness influencers have to say. But for a lot of men over 30, it's just not realistic. And you're better off trying to find a better approach that's sustainable, that kind of teaches you how to balance life with actually getting down to 10 to 15% body fat. Now, if you do want to know how to get down to 10 to 15% body fat and you want more tactical tips, check this video right here. It's going to break everything down for you. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. It'd mean the world to me. Thanks as always, guys. I appreciate you watching, and we'll talk soon.